we are live with Leonard, who is the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. So just have a few questions for you today. So how excited are you for next week's fight, since the first of the fight for Mayweather Promotions?
I'm very excited. Our show is headlined by Sharif Bogheri, and then we have Cameron Krill, who's in the co-main. Some very exciting young fighters, and we're very excited. This is our first show of 2018, the first of many that we're looking to do. Mayweather Promotions is the past, the present, and the future of sports and entertainment.
I know, I've read that a few times, and it really is. Like, you're actually, even as you're reading it, you're convincing yourself, like, wow, it really is, and look what it's gotten. You guys already celebrated your 10 years.
Yes, we are, and I'm very excited. I'm so appreciative and blessed to have a wonderful, wonderful team, wonderful staff. My team, they're very, very diligent in what they do, and we're right where we need to be.
Great. Now, obviously, next week, Sharif versus Arturo Santos. What's something that fans should look out for?
I think Sharif, he's one fight away from challenging for a world title. He's a very experienced fighter. He had a little setback with the injury he had, and he took a fight a couple months ago, and this will be his second fight. And he's very close to getting that world title opportunity, and we're going to make it happen.
Great. Now, what makes him unique, in your opinion?
What makes Sharif Bogheri unique is his style of fighting. I love his style of fighting. He brings something different to the table with his entrances, and he's a very technical fighter. And you can tell that he's a historian of the sport. He's been around the sport for a number of years, and I think he's really benefited from signing with Mayweather Promotions, from having the opportunity to learn under Floyd.
Great. Now, obviously, many critics often reflect on one loss, and despite it being years old by now, do you think that this might have given him a certain edge, or are losses common in boxing, or do they reflect anything bad on the boxer?
Well, the times are different now. It's the press and the fans put a lot into guys losing fights. Our goal and objective is to put our fighters in the best situation possible and create opportunities for them. He had a blemish on his record. It's been so long ago that actually I've forgotten about it. But he's on the right path, and he's definitely going to get that opportunity for challenge for a world title. Great.
Now, based on your observation of Arturo Santos, what's something that Sharif should look out for?
Well, he's a very good fighter, and he's tough, and we know that he's rugged, and that he will present a challenge for Sharif.
Great. Now, being the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, celebrating, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, 10 years, it's a major accomplishment. How much does that mean to you to be, in a black company, especially in boxing?
It means a lot to be the CEO of Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed and thankful that Floyd has given me the opportunity, and he's entrusted in me, and running the company and having a wonderful staff. And I can't say enough talking about my team. I love my team. It's being in this position, I've had the opportunity to obviously promote the biggest fights ever in the history of the sport. And you've learned so many valuable lessons by operating at the highest level possible, that you continue to pass this knowledge on to help these other young fighters grow and groom them. And again, we're here to stay, Mayweather Promotions.
That's great. Now, with all the success you guys have had, were there any challenges you've had that you could recall in the past? Like, was it tough to maybe rise up, or boxers saying no to joining you, or what are a few challenges that you faced in the past?
There are always challenges in anything that you're involved in, that you're passionate in. I think one of the biggest challenges in boxing is that working with other promoters.
Okay.
That I would consider that the biggest challenge that's out there.
Great. Now, we already know how big 2017 was for Mayweather Promotions. What is in store for 2018? What can fans expect? Like, is there any sneak peeks that you can give us right now?
We're going to make some big announcements next week.
Oh. Great.
For some events that we're going to be having, rolling out this year.
Great. Now, final question. What's one thing or several things that you think should be improved in the sport of boxing?
That's a tough question. There's always room to grow in any sport. We try to do as best as we can. I think that it kind of starts with the media. I think because the media tends to paint a different picture. They're really rough on the sport, especially the guys who've been, ingratiated in the sport for a number of years. They just always looking for ways to tear down the sport instead of uplifting the sport. There are criticisms that are out there that in some instances are deserving, but in a lot of instances there aren't. When you look at the other professional leagues out there, the NBA, the NFL, all the other major leagues that are out there, when you look at the media, they operate in a different way. In boxing, it's like everything is negative, and it's all about tearing this person down, tearing that person down. And I think that if there was more positivity in the sport would be uplifted. Like, this isn't my event tomorrow night, but I came out to support the event. He's a fellow promoter, somebody who I respect, who always puts on great events in Ludabella. But we're here, supporting his event. Obviously, I have some fighters on the card, but it's also his event. I have no problems with encouraging the fans and anyone out there to tune in, because we want to find ways to uplift the sport. It benefits everybody as a whole.
Great.
When things like that happen.
It's a really good point. Leonard, thank you so much for the interview. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.